My machine is giving me such a hard time. Alright, everybody. Welcome in to Record Time. I'm Nosaj Ttimmed, and let's get into some gaming news. Hold on 1 second. There we go. I thought that would fix the problem for sure. And I have a problem where my Nintendo Switch is like, the power's flashing on and off, so it does that from time to time. Hold on a second. I don't know why, but the Switch case I have now, Switch dock, it seems to do that from time to time. Why is this not shutting right? There we go. Now we can get down everything. Alright, so let me do something real quick. That's pretty much on mute. Alright, now. So yesterday, before I got off here in the evening, I had something happen that, shouldn't be people shouldn't be doing. People just start actually paying attention to things instead of I was saying it for like a good 20 minutes yesterday about how people will say stuff and then sometimes they don't like stuff said back to them. They'll call you something and they don't like being told that they don't like being called that back, even though they'll say it's a joke. Just remember, if you don't like something, straight outright, don't do it to somebody. If you don't like words said to you, if you don't like, things like that done to you, then don't do it. It doesn't matter how mean you think they actually look. They might not actually be a mean person after all. The way you handle stuff is based upon the way you might have heard something about me or something, but genuinely handling yourself in a manner where you're just downright mean to somebody because of how they look or because of, things you heard. Maybe sometimes they get wound up by people doing certain things to them. You know, if you're so example, if you're expecting people to get wound up on something and you're continuously doing something to them, the person may learn. But to continue to push that onto somebody and then being turned around and called mean because of it, well, then that's not the person you're doing it to's fault. That's your fault because you're the one trying to bring the worst out of them. You have to remember, it takes two to do certain things, you know? And when a person gets mad, they're getting mad because sometimes they're being pushed into something or something is pushed onto them. And it's just a bit of common knowledge that most people don't want to understand. So, regardless of how mad you are at somebody for something, remember, let it go. Let it go, move on. And if you were pushing somebody into getting mad about something, leave that go. And because you got the worst side of them out because you heard something from someone else that triggered them. So at the end of the day, you were the only one to blame for bringing that worst side out of people. You genuinely cannot sit there and make people mad without not blaming yourself. If you're making people mad, that's on you. That's your fault. That's not my fault. I'm a decently nice guy. All right? And last night, somebody said to me, "Well, don't be mean." I'm like, "I'm not being mean. I'm actually being legit here." And when I came in yesterday to do that, it was supposed to be a joke that got really, really taken the wrong way. And I was laughing on this end because I watched a video of Melanie Mack saying the word. So I went in and I thought about what she said. So I went into the Discord and I literally said it to everybody, and everybody didn't take well to it. because they have been saying it to me for like 2 straight weeks. They have been calling me that for 2 straight weeks. And then when I turned around and went in there and called them that themselves, they acted like weird with me. They completely left me in silence all day because they didn't like me saying it to them. So when you think about how you're handling something before you do it, all right? If you don't like something being said to you, or you just genuinely, you don't like when people get mad, but you're sitting there provoking them getting mad, then that is your fault, not the person's fault. Just remember that. Don't go around thinking it's okay to be a jerk to somebody to see the worst side of coming out of them. You have to remember, everybody has something that does upset them. We're all human beings here. It's part of the Bible. All right. An example of it was when I read Cain and Abel last night. Cain and Abel is a very, very, gruesome story. What happened in Cain and Abel was Abel got a lot of blessings from God, and Cain got mad and killed his brother. And it blows my mind because I see that playing out in real life. So this is just some food for thought. Don't let something that is good happening to a person make you want to bring the worst side out of them, because you're gonna look like the bad guy then, even if a million other people are sitting there trying to get one person mad, you know. And I understand joking, I do, but if you can't take that same joke in reverse, then why are you doing it in the first place? Because I said it to like three different people, and it didn't go over well, and it was supposed to be funny. And you know what I did in the end? I called myself that word because I wanted them to just realize it was a joke, and it did not go over well, and he looked at me like I was crazy. So at the end of the day, I didn't do anything wrong in that situation. All right, let's move on. Yeah, when it comes to that kind of stuff, guys, you got to realize that, like, even though you're saying it to somebody, you have to remember, how would you feel if it was said to you? Just because I can take words being said to me and hurtful and stuff that may hurt you, it doesn't mean you can always handle it. So, all right. Oh, and I didn't even go around and bother anybody after that. I went in and I asked them. I was like, "Hey, what's going on here? I called you guys this word because you joked with me, and for all the times you joked with me, I thought it was okay for me to call you guys the word." And then, everybody was just quiet, and I'm like, it's like, okay. All right, Xbox Game Pass adds huge open world game today. Why is it freezing? Another ad popping up. All right. Xbox Game Pass is today adding Far Cry 6, its vast content library. The open world shooter debut on the platform arrives just 2 days after Xbox Game Pass added holiday spirited puzzle Tin Heart to its catalog. Microsoft has so far confirmed 10 new Xbox Game Pass titles for December 2023, almost all of which have already reached the subscription service. Far Cry 6 is the only game from that batch that is still pending release, which is scheduled for later today. Ubisoft's first-person shooters hasn't hit Xbox Game Pass as of 7 still hasn't hit Xbox Game Pass as of 7 a.m. Pacific time on December 14th through. Although that's nothing unusual, new arrivals do often debut at midnight local time, but that isn't always the case. Far Cry 6 won't be the first entry in the franchise to release on the platform, as Far Cry 5 has been available on Xbox Game Pass since July 2022. Xbox Game Pass December 2023 games. So we have them all right here. Yeah, this is just the early part of December. Just imagine how many more we're getting. As for the game at hand, Far Cry 6, the most content-packed installment in Ubisoft's long-running series, boasting enough activities to keep gamers occupied for dozens of hours. Its main quest alone is about 25 hours long, while anyone adamant to clear all of its side content will easily sink over 60 hours into the game. Granted, quantity doesn't always equal quality, and many long-time fans of the franchise would argue that the 2021 shooter is a prime example of that. As of its general see as it's generally seen as one of the weaker Far Cry games, but while many of the design decisions that went into it, the making of Far Cry 6 alienated the series' existing fandom. They also attracted some new audiences, namely the game's heavy emphasis on RPG elements makes it a compelling experience for people who enjoy looter shooters. In the vine of Borderlands, the fictional tropical country of Yara that serves as the setting for Far Cry 6 is also a beautiful playground to explore with another one of the game's selling points, being Breaking Bad star Giancarlo, or I can't, Epitasso, memorable portrayal of villain Antonio Castello. These names are hard to pronounce. Alright. Far Cry 6 is the last Xbox Game Pass title for December 2023 that has been confirmed by Microsoft to date. However, the company historically tied spacing out new arrivals on its platform throughout any given month. While it's thus possible that the subscription service will go 2 weeks without any new release in the second half of December, it's also conceivable that Microsoft will be debuting more Xbox Game Pass titles before the turn of the year. Alright. Nintendo Switch Miss Wonderland Day 4 free game revealed. I didn't know that. I didn't know they were giving out like free games. Day 4 of No Gravity Games Switch Miss Wonderland is here. The Nintendo Switch users in the United States can download Pick Lock for free of charge until midnight. No Gravity Games is Warsaw-based indie game published and new game incubator that helps small and medium developers launch their games on a video game platform like Nintendo Switch, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, and Steam. Recently, the company launched its Switch Must Wonderland giveaway 2023, where it plans to give away 11 games for free for Nintendo Switch users in North America. The giveaway will run from December 11th to December 20th, and Nintendo Switch users who own at least one title by No Gravity Games will be able to access the freebies. Those who didn't possess any of the developers' games could become part of the promotion by downloading Pirates All Aboard, which is also given away free by signing up for No Gravity Games newsletter. The first game of the giveaway is a Nonogram Prophecy, a single-player puzzle game. Those who download Nonograms Prophecy were treated to a creepy tale 2 on day 2 of the giveaway. This was followed by Cat Lord, an action-packed battle royale, which was available for Nintendo Switch owners on day 3. Those who have acquired all 3 indie titles games now have access to a Picklock, an action adventure game that allows players to become Picklocker and steal various valuables across 13 challenging missions. The game is available on the Nintendo eShop for $7.99. But those who have downloaded the first 2 games of the giveaway can get it for free. See, this is something I would have liked to have tried at least, because games like this are fun, at least to me. With 3 games already revealed by No Gravity Games, several gamers have jumped on the bandwagon and enjoyed various indie games. However, Nintendo Switch users who didn't acquire Nonograms, Privacy, or Creepy Tales 2 on day 1 or 2 can still get in the action by buying the game at $1.99, only making them eligible to download Picklock for free until the day ends. Moreover, discounts are applicable for the first week of January, so users can explore the best games from NGG for a steal. See, this wasn't promoted very highly, so like anybody actually that would have wanted this, it wasn't promoted out there to anybody. Like I probably would have like wanted to download these games for free, like and try them out myself because you're not gonna get mad at free games. They're free games for you to try, and if you don't like them at that point in time, you can go back later when you're like absolutely bored and play them. So that's just something. That's just something I would have I would have literally liked to have seen this advertised more often. Unfortunately, we didn't see this advertised very much. I'm about to throw this up on Cross Twitter to show people what is going on, and I'm just surprised this wasn't like promoted a little bit more. So far, No Gravity Games has given away nearly $42 worth of indie games as a part of its Switch Miss Wonderland giveaway for 2023. The promotion is going strong, and Nintendo Switch users still get to enjoy 7 more games over the next 6 days, with the grand final containing 2 titles. No Gravity Games Switch Miss Wonderland 2022 lineup featured several popular indie titles like Creepy Tales 2, Supersonic Tank Cats, Strike Force Kitty, and Pool Pro Gold. Yeah, this would have been pretty cool to see earlier on. Like nobody advertises this stuff, and that's why like people like me miss out on it because we won't even see it going on until like we actually read an article about it. So yeah, I really wish I would have known about this earlier because like as you can see, there's I want to try that game that they have out now, but looking at an image for Nier Automata, and that game is like it. The thing I noticed about that game, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's very, very, very provocative. Let's just say that. and it's provocative to a level where like the image I'm just looking at is like you're behind a girl and she's crouched down ready to fight, and you see completely up her dress where her panties are and all that, and it's just like the character's hot. They know the character's hot. They made that character that way, so it would, you know, it would attract men and any other but anybody else that would actually be attracted by it. But my thing is like, you know, how often are you gonna focus on the under part of the skirt, man? Like, you focus on that area a lot, and then that's all. Like, here, let's pull up an image of Near Automata and show you what I mean. Okay, so Near Automata. Okay, this is a game that I've been meaning to try, but this is the game I'm talking about. So, most pictures you'll see if you open up an image. Now, hopefully there's nothing bad here, but like as you can see, she wears a dress all the time. Okay, so most time what they do is when they focus on an image, it's literally up her dress because she's a very nice looking, character. They built her very well, very attractive. Even with this hair the way it is, I like this. I like the way she looks here. I think she's, to me, she's a 10. All right. And I would play this, but the thing is, like, the image I was looking at. Now, let's go back let's see if I can go back to the image here. I don't think I can. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I can't go back to the image right now because I pulled a page down I was looking at. But, like, literally, all it does is they made her, to, they just continue to, like, let's go into fan art. This might be the best place to do it. So, there's going to be some fan art that just gets really, really, like, you can see, like, you can just kind of see what I mean. It focuses up her skirt a lot, which, as a guy, I'm like, okay, I like that. But at the same time, there's a badass character here, but focusing up her skirt, I can understand. But I can't really, I'm not complaining about what they're doing. I'm just saying there's a lot of upskirt focus because we all want to see that is we all want to see that how's the best way to say see like right here you can even see like if you zoom in on it, it's not coming up. Must be too adult for kick or something. But as you can see, it's just like focusing up her skirt all the time. When she in general, she's a good looking woman, very, very curvy, the perfect example of what a woman should be. Now, I will say this. She's a very popular character too. There's a lot of people that admire her as a character. All right, and I just find it interesting how like they always focus on this spot. That's something you'll notice when you look at half of the work with this character, is that it always seems to be focused up in that general area. Like right here, you can see it, and there's nothing wrong with it. Again, it's just like it's something I wanted to bring up because I see it a lot when they do stuff with this character. It's like it always focuses on the upper thigh or the inner thigh of the character instead of her full appearance. Like, and I'm interested as a guy what's up there too. So I mean, I'm not gonna say that's bad, but at the same time, it's just something I wanted to point out. All right. So, yeah, I just went over that because I just saw a picture of it. I was like, oh, like, it was a good picture. It was her crouched down, but you can literally see her. You can literally see, like, the way she was tilted, you could see everything in that neither, that lower region of her body. So, but she still had panties on, of course. So, um, Tekken 8 demo is available now. Huh. I might go try this out. The demo version of Tekken 8 is available now for download on PlayStation 5, PC, and Xbox. gamers will get to play the Tekken 8 demo on December 21st. So I gotta wait a few days. I would love to see. I would love to see if this is gonna come out on Nintendo Switch 2, the next Nintendo console. Following a brief teaser at the Evolution Champion Series, Bandai Namco officially announced Tekken 8 on Tekken 8 in September 2022. The Japanese developer did so with a 2-minute trailer combining cinematic with flashy gameplay, clearly running at 60 frames a second, and an important feature of fast-paced titles such as fighting games. Over a year later, Tekken 8 demo reached the PlayStation Store as a free game trials go. The demo is a fairly featured packed, offering access to no fewer than 5 modes: story, arcade quest, Super Ghost Battle, Gallery, and Versus. Of course, none of them are available in their entirety, but fans of the series should find hours worth of entertainment here due to the episodic nature the Tekken's 8 story mode and arcade quest demos have specified. Cutoff points, meanwhile, Gallery, Super Ghost Battle, and Versus come with limited functionality in a trial version of the game. In total, the Tekken 8 demo comes with 4 playable characters: Jin, Kazuya, Nina, and Paul. The list of included battle stages is a bit shorter, comprising Sanctuary, Yakuzama, and the evening variant of Urban Square. That said, these 3 levels offer quite a bit of variety, ranging from Sanctum Forest Cave and Swampy Island, the Yakuzahama. Damn, I can't pronounce that. All right. To a colorful urban center inspired by Times Square. So, okay. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try it when it comes out. If it's coming out on 21st, I wonder when the actual game's coming out. But I'm gonna be actually playing this myself. Bandai Namco has already started stress testing the game servers as a part of a closed beta test that's expected to continue in the coming weeks. However, Tekken 8 demo unsurprisingly lacks the support of any kind of online play, not accounting for the PS5 native remote uh, play feature. That the trial does support local multiplayer for up to 2 players in versus mode. Also comes with a standard provision that the content featured in the demo is still subject to change. But seeing how the game is mere weeks away from the full-fledged global launch, it's somewhat unlikely that Bandai Namco will have the opportunity to make any significant content changes prior to its market debut. As a reminder, Tekken 8 releases January 26th for PC and the current generation consoles. Fans who have already pre-ordered the upcoming title might want to consider limiting the time they spend on a demo, as their progress won't be carried over to the full game. I mean, I'm not going to buy the full game for a while anyway. I just want to test the game out, play the game for a little bit. I wonder what he did. I wonder where he went. Former Xbox executive Major Nelson has joined another company. I read about him leaving Xbox, and now he's like at a newer company. So, venerated Microsoft and Xbox personality Major Nelson has joined a new company. The 65-year-old, whose real name is Larry Harp, has decided to remain in the gaming industry with the goal of further developing it. Herb spent more than 20 years at Xbox at Microsoft and Xbox before he announced in July that he had stepped down as the latter's director of corporate communications. He played key roles in development of the original Xbox Live online service, the legendary 360 and Xbox One, among other things. Such as an eventful professional journey, Herb decided to move on from Xbox to work on the next chapter of his career. Now it's known what the new chapter is. In a December 12th post on Twitter, newly launched publisher Midwest Games announced that Herb had joined the company. Okay, so he's a part of a gaming company. Specifically, the former Xbox director has become a part of Wisconsin's based entity advisory board as a communications advisor. Forbes reported Herb joined fellow video game industry veterans Alyssa Wallace and Gina Joseph in Midwest Games, where the trio supposedly intended to build more opportunities for the underserved creators and regions in the space. Herb admitted in the past that small indie projects were difficult to promote even for Xbox or even for Microsoft. So he and this new team must have some fresh new ideas on how to reach their goals. I mean, you take a big name like him who is, who has been in the video game industry for a while. Like, I even know about him. I don't know how many people, I don't think there's many people outside the video game that know about him. Like, before I really dug into the video game community, I didn't know anything about, who Phil Spencer was. I didn't really know much about Jim Ryan. I didn't know much about people like Jeff Grubb and Gene Park, who are big names in the video game community, depending on what they're doing. But now I know about them because I really, really came over to the video game side of things instead of stucking with, you know, I know enough about Hollywood that I just don't care about Hollywood. As for gaming, it's different. The community is a lot different than what we see in Hollywood, and it's different in a way that, you know, it, I would have never known about Midwest Games if it wasn't for him wanting to promote the games himself. And I would have never known about like Naughty Dog. I would have never known about who Reggie Fils-Aimé is, even though he's super old. And I've known about Reggie Fils-Aimé for like ever because he's the head of Nintendo. This year alone, I knew who Miyamoto was, and I didn't really know much about Aonuma, but I know more about them now than I did in previous years. It just goes to show you that, like, when you're a part of the video game community, you learn more about the people in it, and you can learn about how it actually works as a whole. And I don't want to say this. You don't learn that from the other angle, the other side of the fence. You you know, I can't name one fucking person in politics right now because I haven't been following it. Like if you were to tell me about like if you were to just talk about Biden, that's all I know. That's all I know. Everybody else knows about all these other, political heads and all that. But as for me, I don't know any of them right now because I don't care about them. And there's people out there that shouldn't even know about them. Like literally, if you're involved in comic books, you should have no interest in politics whatsoever. But they do. That's what I find weird about that whole like, whole little group, that whole group of people is like they made politics into this thing that was supposed to be funny. And I'm over here, and I know these guys here, and I know what these guys do and how important these guys are. That's why I find it weird. I know about all the big names right now in gaming than I have ever done before, and I actually appreciate these people because they put more work into everything, as opposed to people who are in politics. They don't do jack shit. They take, and they're scumbags. Gaming people here, well, they're trying to support a community and do things for this community. Yeah, it might still be money, but at the end of the day, I'm looking at it this way. You know, they're getting these people with these smaller names out into the world without they're getting these smaller people out into the world that I probably would have never knew. And like going into it even deeper, there are indie developers that I actually know that because I follow them on YouTube, I learned about them. And Modern Vintage Gamer, he's an indie developer, and he's probably, because I know of him, he's probably one of my favorite indie developers just because I watch what he does, and the guy's skilled. The guy's very skilled. And people forget that this whole gaming community is a lot different than other communities out there. We have a lot more caring people in this community, people that actually care about the gaming industry and try to like get smaller people out there, like Major Nelson here. I would have never I didn't know about this guy till like recently. And to see what he's doing now on his own, this is incredible. Like we don't see this anywhere else, you know? We can see that famous movie star give to charity and all that, but like, these guys do it too. But we have to look at it as a whole, is they also help the smaller creators get their foot into the door and get themselves out there so they can go into these bigger companies. And that's the way I look at it, is like, stuff like this is cool. So with the talent that with the talent it has absorbed, Midwest Games has raised the expectations for its upcoming debut release. Rah Rah Boom, developed by Gale Games from Cincinnati, Ohio. Rah Rah Boom is described as a fast-paced beat 'em up that can be played cooperatively by up to 4 players. Fortunately, Rah Rah Boom's marketing has been a very humble, and the expectation the game's trailer has set are very grounded. With the recent disasters fall of Days Before developer Fantastic. See, I didn't know about them before the other day, and it's because I took that massive break from gaming and I didn't really dive into the news of it. So, Fantastic has demonstrated recently it is never a good idea to oversell a product. All right. Herb's move to becoming an advisor following his stint at Microsoft and Xbox is not uncommon path in the industry. Former Nintendo of America president Reggie Fils-Aimé, for example, ended up joining the board of director of struggling retail chain GameStop after his retirement in 2019. Fils-Aimé would ultimately leave GameStop over communication issues even as the company profits start to rise. So I didn't know why Reggie left. I knew Reggie left GameStop, but I wasn't sure why he left GameStop. So that makes sense. I would leave GameStop too. If communication is an issue, which communication is a very big issue in today's world, there's times I've communicated with people and they freaking act like they don't even hear me. And this is at a store, man. This is why I'm saying there's very bad communication in this world. I'll be at my job right now and I'll be like, I'll see somebody off in the distance. I'll be like, "Sir, do you need help?" And they won't even look up. They won't do anything because their listening skills or their listening isn't very good. And then I say it again. And if they don't hear me, I just end up walking off because at the end of the day, I asked them twice if they needed help, and they just ignored me. So the communication skills, the lack of communication, I can understand. I can understand why he would leave them, because that would be like, okay, I'm done trying to help these guys. If they're not going to listen to anything I have to say. And even so, he probably sent out a bunch of emails that got overlooked, and that's another reason why he leaves. Because an example of it, you could you can communicate with somebody all day about, hey, I'm gonna be here at this place at this time. Show up. All right. There are people that will literally hear you say that to them, and even send out an email and still tell you they forgot to show up there. And that is why we in America, we are so bad at communication, whether we realize it or not. And this is why I understand why Reggie Fils-Aimé ended up leaving GameStop. I don't blame him on that one. But it's like you go to work, you tell your manager's like, okay, I need you to sit here and tell me what we can fix. A majority of the time, they don't pay attention to that. That's just like Jeff Keighley. You can speak to Jeff Keighley all day long about his Game Awards, but for him to listen and change, he would have to he'd have to be like, okay, I'm gonna sit there and sort through all these comments and then turn around and end up changing it. And yes, I do think Jeff Keighley needs to change some things about his event. So, in addition to Midwest Games, Herb revealed he has also started to work with the adversary board of other companies. While Herb did not disclose the other boards he joined, it would not be too unlikely for him to have started working on his former employers again. Herb did spend more than 2 decades at Microsoft and Xbox after all. With what he has contributed to Xbox brand, Herb would probably be welcomed with open arms should he make any sort of return there. So, and I look at it this way. Like a game like, there are times you see me, there are times if you sit there on Twitter slash X, I want to say, if you'll sit there and watch me and you follow me, you'll see me actually reach out to the companies and give them a complaint or a suggestion for them to change things around. And, sometimes over the course of time, because my voice was so loud and I know how to reach out to people, I'd see some changes within the company because I as a consumer am actually reaching out to Nintendo. And here's a little secret I can tell you guys, that if you guys really, really want to, call Nintendo Corporate, the company that helps you fix your Nintendo problems. And I actually did it yesterday, but I sat there and I talked to a person who actually works at the company. And I said to him, I was like, do you know anything about the Nintendo Switch 2? Or I was talking to them about the new console, and they were like, I started asking them questions. No, I started saying, I was like, there's things I hope they do for the next Nintendo console or something like that. And they were like, okay, I'm going to write this down. So I'll take your suggestions down and send them over to the corporation. Send them over to them so they can process them and, pretty much a consumer standpoint and what a consumer would want out of the next Nintendo console. So I did that. All right. So I said to her, I was like, I want Street Pass to come back. I think we should have a thumbprint lock on our Nintendo Switches, the new Nintendo console. And I put, if you're gonna do anything where the user interface is gonna be boring, give us a wallpaper to put onto it. Bring back the 3DS method of things. And that's what I told her I would want. And so, if you have any suggestions for Nintendo and there's stuff you want to see on the next Nintendo console, give them a call, man. And they'll probably more than likely listen, because Nintendo's very good at listening to what the fans want. Now, is Street Pass guaranteed? I don't think so, but it was nice to know that Nintendo actually now has what I would like to see in their next gaming console go directly to them instead of, putting it on the internet where they'll hear it, but it won't be the same as them physically like actually doing it. And you know, Nintendo's very good at listening to people. In fact, Nintendo actually, ever since I started playing Nintendo Switch all over again, they see I played in Tetris 99. Apparently, Tetris 99 didn't get a theme for like a couple months. And then when I started actually playing again when I started playing it again and I started advertising it on X, then I started seeing us get a new theme each month now, which means me playing it is, is throwing out the message to Nintendo that, hey, people still play this game, bring out these themes for this game, and I'll continue to download them and play them. And that's how I know Nintendo is paying attention to, things that I say because, they say I really, really like it. And they know I'm a Zelda fan. They know a lot. They pay attention to what you do online. If you really are a fan of something and you just show it, the companies look for that. And they're like, okay, well, he's a fan. How can we continue these fans to be happy? And they will look at you as a person who is continuously doing stuff related to the company's product and see what makes you happy. And they'll take you as an example of, hey, we should kind of keep doing this because if it's making him happy, chances are it's making everybody happy. And Nintendo sees me as like this average consumer that is a huge Nintendo fan that just continues to play Nintendo games even as I'm older. And they know that me as a consumer, I sit there and I play Mario. I sit there and I play, games that Nintendo release. And Nintendo, probably somebody at Nintendo watches my videos. They do that kind of stuff. They do it for the sole purpose of learning what the consumer likes. And for me being a 36-year-old man and having Nintendo be like, okay, well, he likes these things, and they process it as, well, that's what our consumers would like, so they give us more and more of what they give us more and more things that we would like. So I don't know. I think it's pretty cool. You just gotta be fierce with what you do through the company. So, like example, if you keep posting Nintendo stuff up, Nintendo's gonna see you eventually. Like if you like PlayStation, you keep posting PlayStation stuff up, you're gonna get it eventually. Like RGT's a Jurassic Parks fan. You get it eventually. Melanie Mac, she's a fan of Tomb Raider. We're getting a Lara Croft remastered game in the next few months. All right, which I'm gonna be getting for the Nintendo Switch. That's gonna be setting back here along with the rest of my physical games. But the point I'm trying to make is like, I really think these companies actually do pay attention to us. They just don't show it. And trust me, when you're advertising that you like something a lot and you keep showing them that you like it, they will pay attention to that and they will start throwing that stuff out there more for the people who actually like the product. That's why right now, the big discussion is what they're going to be doing with the next Legend of Zelda project. Are they going to be doing old style Zelda, or are they going to be doing new style Zelda? And what Zelda will they bring out as a remaster is the real question. And I know everybody wants Twilight Princess and all that, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, but the reality of the truth is we had Twilight Princess and Wind Waker remastered we had it on a GameCube, we had it on a Nintendo Wii, we had that on the Wii U. Why would we put that out again on this console? Why would we do that if we had that 3 times already? We had that same set of games 3 times released over onto 2 different consoles already. And both of them, well, no, not Skyward Sword not Wind Waker so much, but we had Twilight Princess and Wind Waker on the GameCube. We had Twilight Princess on the Wii. We had Twilight Princess and Wind Waker HD on the Wii U. So why would we need that again? Why can't we just move on to another remaster, like A Link Between Worlds? That would be an incredible remaster. You know, people are out there saying Ocarina of Time, but we've seen Ocarina of Time remastered already. Why not remaster a game that is later on down the road that needs to be remastered? I mean, we could do Phantom Hourglass, we could do Spirit Tracks, but I want to see Link Between Worlds remastered because that game was amazing. That game actually came out after Skyward Sword, so that's why I think that one could be the next one they remaster, because after Skyward Sword we had Breath of the Wild. We didn't have anything other than Breath of the Wild. We had a remaster for the Wii U, and then we had Breath of the Wild. So the next one for them to remaster is A Link Between Worlds. Just remember that. We had we had we had Link's Awakening remastered for the Switch. You can go ahead and remaster any other game, but just don't remaster. Well, I want a remaster, but at the same time, there's no purpose for it because it'd make the graphics look a little bit better. But I think the best thing to remaster right now would be A Link Between Worlds because that was such a great game. You know, remaster a link to the past and A Link Between Worlds. Two sequels that go directly together that should get remasters, you know? And we already had the remaster of Majora's Mask. We had the remaster. We had a remaster on a remaster of it on the 3DS. So why would we not bring out A Link Between Worlds? It's something that I always think about. I'm like, well, why are we not bringing that one out? Why are we not bringing that one out? You know, or why are we not bringing remastering any other games? You know, there's so many games out there to remaster that like people are so focused on the ones from like that time frame of Nintendo 64 to the Nintendo Wii and always forget that stuff came out on 3DS. And the game that came out on 3DS was incredible. I love that game. So I actually tried to play that game a second time around and I wasn't able to because stuff happened. Still wish I had my 3DS though. Alright. Xbox looking to fix Series Cloud save issues. So we're going to read this and maybe that Nintendo Switch one. Microsoft has fixed a bug affecting some players within the Insider program where gamers could lose progress in certain games when using the beta version of the Xbox OS. The team at Xbox regularly rolls out software updates to Xbox Series X and S owners to ensure the latest generation of consoles are in peak condition. The Insider program gives Xbox players the chance to participate in beta tests for certain production from Microsoft, usually getting an advanced look at system updates or exclusives. Beta test for the first-party games. The program is free to join but offers different tiers and benefits to players who use the Xbox ecosystem regularly and level up through the ranks. Posting on the official Xbox website, the company has stated the team has identified and fixed an issue with the latest OS update that caused an unexpected loss of save data, which certain games when played via cloud streaming. The company confirmed that the issue was seen for players on the beta ring level of the program. Although the details of which games were affected haven't been made available, Microsoft has taken steps to ensure gamers the issue has now been resolved for those on beta ring, although it has still encouraged users to log to any issue directly through the site. It is worth noting that the loss of the save data only affects players who have subscribed to the Insider program, and the rest of the community will not experience this problem. Microsoft will only release the next Xbox software update once the major bugs have been squashed. Although the timing of this news comes at an awkward time for Xbox, the company has recently had issues with Xbox Live servers, with gamers reporting problems shortly after Fortnite Big Bang event took place on December 2nd. The whole Xbox Live network went down on December 6th, temporarily stopping players from accessing online modes. Thankfully for gamers, these servers returned quickly as players were looking to jump into Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Season 1, which coincidentally released the same day Xbox Live went offline. Activision, now under Microsoft ownership, has since confirmed players can experience the Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer for free. From December 14th until December 18th, it seems that the team at Microsoft is focusing on introducing new features and acting quickly to squash any issues that arise as part of the development. The announcement that the issue has been identified and resolved, no doubt to a relief for players on the insider programs as they continue to test the next Series X and S OS update. Alright, so that's interesting. Makes me wonder what happened when they released Modern Warfare like that. So I did this yesterday, so if you didn't do this yet, you can go to Nintendo.com, log into your profile, and check everything out that you did for the year. So Nintendo Switch users can check their year in review 2023 stats. All right. Nintendo has released the year in review for the Switch. Players to check their 2023 stats as is tradition at the time of year. Companies release charts showing players' habits. Xbox and Sony's year in review are already available, so now it's Switch's turn to join the list of retrospectives. When it comes to release, it's been a busy year for Switch owners. The gaming world saw the release of Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom in May, which became one of the highest rated games ever. Other notable Switch moments in 2023 include the release of Pikmin in July 4th, in the 4th of July. Pikmin 4 in July, sorry. Super Mario Bros. Wonder in October, and long-awaited remake of Super Mario Bros. RPG in November. After a year offering so much for gamers to play, it's time for them to check out their year in gaming. How the year in gaming was. Nintendo has released the year in review 2023, which can be reviewed on the official website. By accessing the site and logging in with their Nintendo account, players will see all their statistic divided into shareable cards. Like last year, Nintendo Switch year in review, the retrospective shows how many games Switch owners played this year, how many hours they played the month with the most hours played, and the first title played in 2023. In the year in review also breaks down gamers' trends, showing a chart with playing time divided by genres. Players can also select their favorite game and share statistics with the friends. Year in review is fun for gamers to check out their gaming habits on the Switch and discovering interesting information. Players wasted no time in sharing their statistics, with some drawing a lot of attention. On Twitter, one user revealed they had over 900 hours in Splatoon 3, while others showed 827 hours in Tears of the Kingdom and 290 hours in Xenoblade Chronicles. Other players were surprised to find that they had a whopping 1,850 hours in Pokemon Scarlet and 1,980 hours in Mario Kart, which continues to be a hit on Nintendo Switch year after its release. Nintendo Switch library is vast, and even as the year draws to a close, Nintendo console keeps adding new games. In December, the Switch received titles such as Disney's Dreamlight Valley, Skater XL, Small Land, Survive in the Wild, and Smurfs. They colorful stories. This week also sees the release of anticipated Indigo Disc DLC, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, the second part of the Hidden Treasure of Area Zero expansion. The Switch releases for 2024 with confirmed games like Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, Apollo Justice, Ace Attorney Trilogy, Tomb Raiders 1 through 3 remasters starring Lara Croft, and many more. This isn't coming out till after this year. What are they talking about? It's coming out in February. All right, so it is 12 o'clock, and so right now I gotta go. So hold on 1 second. Let me maximize the screen. So there you have it. There's the news for the day. Go check your Nintendo Switch account stats out if you haven't, and that's it for me. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday, so yeah, take it easy and until tomorrow, and I'll be streaming here tonight. So take it easy, everybody.